everybody? Hope you're doing fantastic. Well, it is Connor here, and we are back with the Rumour Mill. I hope you enjoyed the Blackburn watch-along last night. We're going to try and get some watch-alongs out as much as we can, guys, as much as we can, but full-time jobs, they do get in the way, don't they? We all know that. It gets in the way of everything, having a full-time job, so we'll try our very best, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Listen, Blackburn last night, obviously you'll have heard all the good stuff going on from that, but this is actually recorded before the Blackburn game, guys, because we've got some rumours to talk about, haven't we? We've got some rumours to talk about, so I hope you're doing well. This should be out in the morning, so yeah, hopefully Leeds have got a good result, and we had a good time on the watch-along. But listen, we've got a few things to talk about. Obviously, we saw the movement of Leif Davis yesterday, but there's been a lot of talk about Mikhail Damsgaard. We broke this on the Rumour Mill a while ago, and it's a very exciting one, isn't it? Mikhail Damsgaard absolutely lit up the Euros, a cracking goal against England, but just his technicalities through the tournament. He was a superb player for Denmark, and he really took the mantle of Christian Eriksen and just ran with it. He was unbelievable. And I said, what I loved about him is it's his low centre of gravity, but it's his calmness and his composure on the ball and off the ball as well. A very, very talented player, and someone who I could see fitting into this Leeds United side absolutely perfectly well. Doesn't look like he's got an ego on his shoulders, only 21 years of age. Sampdoria player. Now, the problem is it's been quoted for 25-30 million euros. LAFC Fan Zone also said an update on this. Another source told us that with Damsgaard's agency has told us, sorry, but nobody from Leeds has contacted about Mikkel, and I know Victor quite well. This is something we've spoken about. I just don't see it happening, Damsgaard. It's a flash in the pan, isn't it? It's something that we would love to see happen, but his quality, the amount of clubs that will be after him, I'm not for one saying that can't be Leeds, but I just don't see Leeds spending that money. I don't see Leeds spending that sort of money on a winger. And the winger that we're going to talk about later on is something that I can see a little bit more realism towards in terms of transfer rumour. But this is something that I just don't see happening. Italian outlet Il Bianconero have claimed that Leeds have stepped up their interest in Mikhail Damsgaard. Yeah, I mean, someone linked it to me on Twitter, and I just didn't see the validation for it, to be honest with you. And would he get minutes? I mean, where would he play? Obviously, he can play central attacking midfield. He's played off the left. He can play off the right as well. But he's not going to be a straight starter for Leeds United, is he? Even if he comes into this system. So that's something I don't see happening. So I think we can scratch that one off the list. But interesting how that's happened again. The new kit as well. Apparently, it is Leeds United's away kit. I'll flash it up on screen now. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's got the same sort of design as the maroon one in terms of just the pattern on the centre, and my reaction to it, guys, is I actually really like it. And I liked it with yellow stripes, of course I would, but you know, we all want things that we can't have. But it is one of the nicest kits we've produced in years, and I just don't understand why they can't get it right more often, to be honest with you. It always seems to be wrong rather than right with the kits, and this one is a massive step up, and it was great to see. It looked like it was a media day at Ellen Road the other day, and I think that it's definitely going to be that one, isn't it? We saw Bamford in it, we saw Railing in it, and I think we didn't properly see it. It seems to be a blurred picture, but if people are seeing the home kit and thinking that looks good on the likes of Rafinha, Phillips, etc., this away kit's going to look unbelievable. Really nice pattern. The logo I'm not a fan of. It's massive, just massive. I wonder what the kids' one's going to be. It's just going to have a big JD thing there, isn't it? It's going to be like the basis of a washing machine. It's just going to be huge. But listen, I'm fine with it. I am happy with it. Will I get it? Potentially. I'd rather it over the home shirt. I get people are coming round to the home shirt, but that's because they have to. It's the home shirt for the next year. I still feel people with the home shirt aren't fully bought onto it yet. They just have it because they need to have it because it's the home kit. But this away one, I think, is going to be a real seller. I think it's going to be a real goer as well. It looks sort of like a darker shade of blue, which was sort of replicated in the 2018-19 season, which, if you don't know, it looked like the seats of the Coastliner. If you've ever rode the Coastliner, which you will do if you're a Yorkshireman or Yorkshirewoman, you know, you will know what the Coastliner bus is. And that was what it was in 18-19. I've still got it. You guys have seen it. 32 red, 18-19 top, but it's I think this one's a bit of a step up, and there's been a lot of fan reaction. You know, take my money, love this, beautiful, how sexy is that? That's unreal, knocked it out the park. So I mean, apparently the home one was the biggest selling one in years, and if that is the biggest selling one in years, this one is going to absolutely fly. So that is really good to see that we've actually got an away kit spot on. So another thing that I wanted to talk about today, and the main topic of today's video. Listen, we've spoken about Josip Brekalo many times, haven't we? There's been an interesting development with him as of yesterday. Now, Josip Brekalo is a 23-year-old who's played for two clubs in Germany. He's played for Stuttgart, he's played for Wolfsburg as well. He's a Croatian forward. He's very quick, very nippy. We spoke about him last year on the Rumour Mill. We spoke about how good he was in certain situations, how he would fit the bill for this Marcelo Bielsa team. Very, very dynamic, very good in tight situations, and very good at getting back and helping his fullback. So I think he would fit in really, really nicely with this side. He's a young lad. He's got bags of potential. He's got a whole career in front of him. And it looks like, allegedly, Leeds have been handed a big chance to sign the forward, as he's handed in a transfer request at Wolfsburg. Now, there are a lot of clubs looking at this kid. This one seems like something that I can see happening. It's a good price. He fits into the system really well. He's got bags of potential, and his diminutive stature and how he goes at plays is very Dan James-esque. So I can see it being an alternative to Dan James. We talk about those three on the list. One might be Dan James. I genuinely feel the other one is Josip Brekalo. This has been on the mill now for 3 years. So German outlet Sports Buzzer reports that Brekalo has made his request for a change, but Wolfsburg are set to receive an offer from the former Stuttgart player. Leeds have been regularly linked with Brekalo this summer, with Calcio Mercato reporting earlier this month that the Whites and Atletico Madrid are joint favourites in the race to sign the Croatia international. But yeah, Leeds have been regularly linked with them, haven't they? And Calcio Mercato reported earlier on this month that they've received no bids for Brekalo. The Wolfsburg have received no bids. So that is telling in itself, really, because normally you get the other club, the other continental club, as we've seen, come out and say, yeah, there's interest, there's this, there's that, there's been a bid, but it doesn't seem to be flying really from that end. Phil Hayes also said that the Whites could launch a late summer swoop to add more depth to Marcelo Bielsa's options out wide. And it's really interesting at the minute, isn't it? Because I thought Lewis Bate was going to be the answer. I thought that's maybe how Bielsa would go forward, and maybe Forshaw's going to break in, and that's going to be the midfield option sorted, and maybe we'll move on, add someone if it's an opportunistic thing. But it does look like Leeds are still looking at a central midfielder, and we will be looking to bolster our wide options, as someone like Brekalo will be absolutely perfect. I think the big thing is, it's, Alioski has left, Pablo Hernandez has left. In terms of experience, in terms of first team heads, they're still big players. Berardi as well, big players that Leeds need to replace in some capacity. We've also spoken about Helder Costa. Is he going to be on Leeds' books? Come the end of the transfer window. This is something we all need to consider, and it's going to affect Leeds United out wide massively, isn't it? If someone like Costa goes, because it reduces the options hugely, and Leeds might have a contingency plan in place for that. So the big thing about Brekalo is his goal contributions on either side. He's versatile. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. Last season for Wolfsburg, he was good on both sides and produced on both sides. So even, like I've just said, if it's not just competition for Jack Harrison, it could be competition as well for Rafinha, which is a big thing, because as I said, competition is the best thing. Bielsa's going to be a fan of that. He's going to be a huge fan of that. And I think any winger that arises, I think that the wing is Bielsa's favourite position, because I think he loves wingers bombing on and Leeds really going on that counter-attack and going on the offensive. That's Marcelo Bielsa's blueprint. It's always been his blueprint. And apparently, according to Calcio Mercato, a loan-to-buy deal could be on the cards. Leeds United could snap him up for a minimum of 15.5 million, but a loan-to-buy deal is on the cards. Now, we've seen with Conor Gallagher, this is something that Leeds would like to do in business. Propositions going forward, potentially. You look with Conor Gallagher, I presume there's going to be a buy option later on down the line, or I don't really understand the point, to be quite honest with you. But it does seem like a very affordable, very good, and very straightforward deal to get done. So Josip Brekalo, welcome to Little. No, I'm joking. But it could be a really good acquisition, and it makes more sense, especially with the fact he can play either side, and he's a good player, and there's a lot of there's a much higher ceiling for someone like him, than a player who is. We don't know he's going to deliver. We don't know if he's going to be able to deliver on the Premier League stage. I think Brekalo is all the sort of attributes to be able to do that. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know in the comment section below exactly what you think on the rumours today. Obviously, I think Leeds have got a friendly. I think it could be tomorrow if I'm recording right on the day. Friday, could it be? Yeah, it is Friday. So Leeds have a friendly tomorrow. So I think it's against Fleetwood, isn't it? So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be trying to do a watch along. Listen, guys, have a lovely day, and I will catch you in a bit. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a bit.